Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are tackling what is hands down the hardest climb in all of personal finance, the wealth ladder, and exactly how you go straight from crisis to compounding. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, but you just can't seem to get ahead, trust me, you're not alone. We're going to look at the concrete step-by-step methods to completely break out a financial survival mode, drawn directly from the
financial crisis. We'll quickly cover how to step out of financial stress, build an indestructible safety net, and finally cross that threshold into long-term stability and investing. There is a way out, and we're mapping it together.
Starting off with Section 1, the wealth ladder trap. We've got to begin right at the bottom of the ladder, the crisis level. This is the rung where, sure, income technically exists, but the math just doesn't work out.
It's literally the most stressful rung on the entire ladder. Why? Because every single month is just this brutal, punishing cycle of overdraft fees, late charges, and sitting at the kitchen table trying to decide which bill gets skipped this time around. You have a job, you have income coming in, but the outflows are just fundamentally larger than the inflows. It feels impossible, right? But fully understanding this trap is the absolute first step to dismantling it.
And the data highlights a pretty terrifying reality here. You are constantly one unexpected $400 expense away from total financial disaster. Every time you try to pull yourself up to the next rung, bam, a surprise car repair or a sudden medical bill knocks you right back down to zero. You can clearly see the next step right above you, but the system just keeps yanking you back down.
Which brings us to Section 2, triage your financial crisis. So how do we actually get out? Well, we definitely don't focus on wealth yet. You can't build a house while the foundation is literally on fire, right? We start with absolute financial triage.
So, here are the immediate, highly actionable steps to stop the bleeding. First off, call every single creditor you have, credit cards, medical bills, utilities, and explicitly ask for their hardship programs. Honestly, most folks have no idea these hidden lifelines even exist, but they can dramatically pause or lower your payments with just a single phone call. Second, if you're in the U.S., dial 211. This immediately connects you to local rental assistance, food pantries, and emergency funds specific to your zip code. And third, you need to urgently sell anything non-essential.
I mean, look around your house right now. That old iPad just gathering dust in a drawer, the second TV you never actually watch, or that designer bag you haven't taken out since 2019. These aren't just objects anymore. These are your tickets to breathing room. Take extra weekend shifts, do some gig work if you have to, but liquidate those items.
All of this triage leads directly into Section 3, building the emergency buffer. All of those incredibly uncomfortable phone calls and all the selling you just did, it has one hyper-specific goal, building your very first layer of armor.
And the magic number you're aiming for to stop the immediate bleeding is exactly $500. That's it. Not long-term wealth, not some massive 6-month savings account, just $500.
And this comparison brilliantly illustrates exactly why that specific number matters so much to your survival. A $500 buffer is literally the difference between a flat tire just being a bad Tuesday or a flat tire triggering a missed shift at work, which triggers a short paycheck, which triggers a missed rent payment, and suddenly you're facing an eviction 2 months later. That $500, it breaks the domino effect. It's the ultimate shock absorber that keeps you in the game.
Once you hit that buffer, we move right into Section 4, automating your way out. You've officially moved up a rung to the paycheck-to-paycheck level. Now, the main problem isn't necessarily your income anymore, it's your structure. At this level, money comes in and just walks right out the exact same front door. There's zero firewall to protect it. So the fix here is automating your savings. You need to open a separate account at a totally different bank, somewhere where it's genuinely annoying to touch the money. Set up an automatic transfer the literal second payday hits. Just $50 a week automatically turns into $2,600 a year. And because it's completely automated, you honestly won't even feel it leave.
And you can totally turbocharge this by cutting just one reoccurring $100 expense. Come on, we all have them. The guilty gym membership you swear you'll use next Monday but never do, the 3 forgotten streaming services, or that weekly DoorDash habit. Just cut one of these and route that exact same $100 into your new, hard-to-reach savings account.
You're going to keep doing this until you hit $1,000. Not $500, not $2,000, exactly $1,000. This is the absolute ultimate firewall. It's the solid ground that stops your life from collapsing the next time the car breaks down. And listen, you absolutely must hit this number before you even think about paying off your larger, long-term debts.
All right, with your foundation firmly set, we finally reach Section 5, the Index Fund Gateway. Once you're stable with that buffer and your debts are finally managed, the door actually opens to the true wealth builder. This is where your money finally starts doing the heavy lifting for you.
So what's an index fund? The beauty of it is just its absolute simplicity. It's basically an investment that simply copies a list of top companies, like the S&P 500, which tracks the 500 biggest companies in the US. It's passively managed. That means there's no expensive guy in a fancy suit guessing or actively picking stocks for you. It literally just follows the list.
Think of it exactly like pitching in for a massive birthday party budget. If you tried to buy the food, the drinks, the decorations, and hire the DJ all by yourself, you'd go completely broke. But instead, you pool your money with your friends. With that pooled budget, everyone gets to enjoy the whole shebang without the individual stress. An index fund works the exact same way, but with millions of investors pooling their money to buy pieces of the entire stock market.
And because there's no active manager constantly picking and trading stocks, the fees are practically nothing. We're talking maybe 20 cents a year for every $1,000 you invest. Plus, your pooled money buys you a tiny, super diversified piece of hundreds of the biggest, most established companies in the world. It's historically strong and requires basically zero effort. You get to own a slice of Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon, while doing virtually nothing on your end.
Now, the really crucial takeaway here is that you absolutely don't need to suffer from FOMO. While everyone else is out there trying to gamble on picking the next massive AI or tech stock, a single broad market index fund like the S&P 500 automatically gives you roughly 20 to 25% exposure to those exact top AI and tech giants anyway. You get instant, safe exposure to the biggest tech booms, totally hands-off, while your risk is safely spread across hundreds of other completely reliable companies.
But remember, you don't get to this exciting wealth-building stage without surviving the crisis stage first. So looking at your own climb out of the financial trap, I want to leave you with this. What single, non-essential item can you sell today to start funding that $500 buffer? Take that very first step today and ask yourself, how high up this ladder are you really prepared to climb?